Welcome everybody to episode 7 of our crash course here at V2 Trading. And also welcome to part 2 of our Bookmap mini-series inside of this crash course as well. Today we'll be covering over the importance of Bookmap bubbles as well as iceberg orders to further understand more little details that can play a significant role when it comes to Bookmap and order flow. So let's start out with Bookmap bubbles. What Bookmap bubbles are on a Bookmap chart, on the heat map, instead of candlesticks, you see bubbles. And these bubbles show you the volume alongside if it's a buyer or a seller. The larger the bubble is, the more volume that participant has. And this can be a great indicator of market sentiment. Although this seems confusing at first, this will get much more simpler when we get into our examples and demonstrations. But let's keep moving on. Now, let me explain to you what iceberg orders are. Iceberg orders are hidden order flow orders that are hidden because they're split up between multiple smaller limit orders to hide the full size. Essentially, big orders are going to be placed, but only participants can only see a small portion of these orders. How iceberg orders look are they look at these blue things that is right above my arrow. My arrow is pointing at this iceberg order. My arrow is pointing at this iceberg order. My arrow is pointing at these iceberg orders. And these can show you where there may be additional market interest as well. So let's take a look at some examples. So taking a look at this example on the Think with Bookmap stream, shout out to Live Alex, Think with Bookmap once again. Great resource, I highly recommend you guys to use. But over here, we see a very large buy iceberg that got executed down here. We'll follow. We saw a large movement upwards in price up till this liquidity level on the heat map. This also ties in with how combination matters as well. Look at the size of these bubbles, right? The green bubbles are much bigger than these red bubbles, showing that buyer momentum is still continuing. But once we touch this liquidity level, the size of the buy bubbles got a lot smaller, and the size of the red bubbles got a lot bigger. This could indicate that sellers may be trying to come into the market, and let's see how buyers defend that. Here, buyers pushed it back up with large green bubbles, and sellers started dismissing there. Started getting reintroduced, but overall they're dismissing. So although the liquidity level is there, I personally believe that we can break this. Why? Just because of how the bubbles are placed, with the buy orders having a lot more volume, with the sell orders dismissing as well. Additionally, our buy icebergs have been a lot more significant in market movement as compared to the sell icebergs. So let's go forward in time and see if that works out. Would you look at that? We broke straight through. How do we break straight through? Would you look at that? Another iceberg order. This iceberg order got executed right here, and look what happened to price. Blew straight through this liquidity level, and now it's likely heading to this liquidity level. That shows that price heads from liquidity level to liquidity level as well on Bookmap, and tells you the importance of the characteristics of these bubbles to understand overall market sentiment. That's essentially all I have for this video. I tried to make it as simple as possible for you to understand with this one example. I feel like this example is a great way to get started and to understand how the market works regarding order flow. And just by knowing how these bubbles are functioning can tell you a lot about market sentiment, and these icebergs can add one more tool to your toolkit for additional confluence. So I highly recommend you to take advantage of that as well. So now that we looked at our examples and concluded, let's overview on what we've discussed today. We've discussed the overall meaning of the bubbles and the size of the bubbles to understand overall market sentiment, as seen in our example. Additionally, we've also seen the importance of icebergs in the market and showing how icebergs that follow the overall confluence tend to move the market a lot. Additionally, I showed you how we can use this live to make estimates and predictions on where the market may move next. Bookmap is a very powerful order flow tool that you can use to your advantage to make very nice decisions in the market. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Any questions? Just hop in the Discord and ask me a question or leave a comment down below. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.